and we have it all. No, it's progressive. Looking at where our country is, I think we have achieved a lot. One, just the other day, maandamano, it was so peaceful. It was peaceful. But we don't have people, counting bodies and, saying we were not allowed or the way it used to be.
But you see, you talk about maandamano, and I think it's great that you've gone there. But you remember, Broad-Based was formed after 2024, the anti-finance bill protest, right?
Yeah.
But in 2025, a year later, after formation of Broad-Based, over 60 Kenyans were killed under the government that is Broad-Based. How then do you speak of what Broad-Based intended to achieve, extrajudicial killings stopping, yet we see that happening in the union that is Broad-Based? Has Broad-Based failed based off that specific agenda of extrajudicial killings ending?
That's why I said it's progressive. I'm a teacher. Mm-hmm. You can be in class and teach and think that everybody understood, only to come back and as a teacher, you go back to revision. When Baba came up with President Ruto to do this, they actually had some boxes to tick. And like I've said, even though a few other things have happened that are not palatable, I still think there is some progress. And you have witnessed the president going around the country launching many projects. Where I come from, in Busia, we didn't even have an airstrip. We didn't have a stadium. Yet, if you look at Busia properly, Busia should be Nairobi.
Do you have an airstrip and a stadium now in Busia?
Now they have launched.
No, I'm sorry. Do you now have okay.
You cannot construct an airstrip in a week or 2 weeks.
But I need to understand something so that we also don't go to a place whereby we run away from the issues. These things that you talk about, whereby they could be agents of development, one must ask, were they the stipulations that were put into that 10-point agenda? Because there were 10. The first one being the full implementation of the NADCO report. That was the first one, which on its own was an extensive report and things that had to be done. But what we hear is that there is travel around the country and that there is the launching of projects, which if you look at the 10-point agenda, that doesn't show up.
Remember,
in number 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Or 5.
Wait,
and those are the first 5.
I just
so
want
we use that.
Clarify
something. We use that because it's the point that you've used right now.
Yeah.
Because you are now talking about a progressive 10-point agenda implementation, whereby it was very clear at that point that this was stipulated by time. And coming to the end of that period is when we started to hear this talk of progression, of progressiveness. And the examples that continue to be used are those of the president launching projects.
You have to have the money to do things. Remember, 10-point agenda is a spit of the NADCO report. When I start counting what I have witnessed, I'm ticking boxes.
But were those the 10 points? You can witness things that were not in the 10 points.
Among them. So I'm talking of what is happening in my county.
Okay. Which is supposed to happen anyway when you have county bosses.
Yes,
you didn't need the 10-point agenda for devolution to be... No. It is constitutionally bound. Devolution. Right, and that's why you have an election whereby you elect a governor. You didn't need 2 parties to come together. And this is my question here. Did it need 2 parties to come together for the constitution to be followed?
To be implemented, pretty much.
To even be implemented.
Let me remind you, this country since independence, why do we have other counties more developed and not others? So this rubs it in, makes it like deliberate that no county should be lagging behind. So all the youths, the women, people living with disability in those counties that are still lagging behind must put
Why do they lag behind? I think we need to get to this here. When we're saying that there are counties, 47 of them, and all of them are not at par. But you know what? There's something called equitable share. All right?
But
Senate goes and they lobby for this money. We go to an election where billions of shillings are spent for somebody to be elected. You have a county boss in the name of a governor. They have a deputy governor. They have an entire county assembly who are elected and are paid a salary every month. But now, what you're trying to help us understand, and maybe you can please open this up for us to understand, that people are given resources for which are not enough. People are given resources. They've been given resources since 2013. There have been people who have been elected, some people serving 2 terms, some people serving just 1 are not able to. But here we are and we're saying that with the resources that you've been given, going through the electoral process, we still need to nudge you a little bit with this broad-based government for you to do your job. That's
all
an
of us
indictment.
are responsible.
That's an indictment, don't you think?
All of us are responsible. If you come from a county where your governor is not working, you have yourself to blame, not anybody. I am talking of 10-point agenda.
Yes.
In the supplementary budget, we have increased. Every county will get something extra to develop their own little world, their county. So
not taking into consideration what has happened over the last 13 years of devolution?
It is upon the 190. You know, if you do nothing, when your governor is sleeping, your county assembly members are sleeping, you know, the senator is sleeping, and the women rep is sleeping, then it is you to blame, not the government, not anybody. Many times we are used to hovering our fingers on leaders, but the same thumb also asks you, what is your role? So we should be tasked, all of us, to be responsible in development.
So we don't need a broad-based program then? Based on what you're saying,
Kenyans
need to be responsible.